Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our project Camtasia. Let us see how our rubrics can guide a researcher through a typical research cycle. Aristotle is an AI researcher in GEK Pro Technologies, and he's being tasked to research into auto navigation cars. In the first phase, identify problems or analyze tasks. Aristotle can ask himself, what are the important parts of the question? In this context, it will include how to ensure the car to obey traffic rules and how to ensure the car avoid obstacles along the way. Next, what research has already been done? Examples such as auto parking mechanism and driverless car by Volkswagen and Google respectively are good case studies that Aristotle can study into and get information useful for his own research. Next, who is the experimenter or author? Is he or she reliable? And how sound is the study article? For these two questions, Aristotle has to look at the body of the article or study, look at the content, whether there's a case of conflicting interest or contradiction. In the next phase, designing experiment, Aristotle can ask himself, what are the possible solutions or explanations for the task? For auto navigation cars, Aristotle can use technologies such as GPS, sensors, or Bluetooth. How should Aristotle conduct the experiment? Aristotle can test with real cars or test with a simulated environment. What are the resources available and the constraints that Aristotle faced? These would include resources such as budget, time, and manpower. What is the best way Aristotle can conduct the experiment? Aristotle can use tools such as decision matrix to help him to decide on the best way to conduct the experiment. Next phase, collecting and analyzing data. Aristotle can ask, how valid are the hypotheses according to the data collected? Aristotle can use graphs or charts to help him determine the answer. Why are they valid or invalid? And where does the problem lie? Upon finding a problem, Aristotle can return to the initial hypothesis to find the problem and change accordingly. What else does the data suggest? Data collected from an experiment sometimes includes useful information related to fields outside of the experiment. In the last phase, publishing and applying findings, Aristotle can ask, what are some of the limitations of the study? He has to answer questions such as, does it apply to all types of car? For example, there are countries that have cars with a left-hand drive and there are other countries with right-hand drive. Next, where can the theory be applied in the real world? Auto car navigation can be used to reduce fatigue incurred from long-distance journeys. Who are the target audience? Aristotle has to present according to the audience's inclination to technical terms. Lastly, how should information be presented so that the target audience can understand it? Aristotle has to decide whether to present strictly business or technical aspects, or a mixture of both, depending on the target audience and the nature of the conference. On top of the questions as the rubrics, the group has identified two dispositions which are important to maintain throughout the cycle. 1. Being open-minded. Keep oneself open to teammates' suggestions and ideas. 2. Intellectual curiosity. Constantly seek answers to new questions. So, asking questions such as when, why, what, where, who, and how makes up majority of our rubrics. So this is largely similar to the familiar 5W1H with an additional always be open-minded. With that, we have come to the end of the Camtasia and the end of the presentation. We would like to open the ground for questions now. Thank you.